party one night, and I went up to him and I said, when I get out of here, when I have to start earning a living, I said, what kind of parts am I going to be right for? And he was in his, he had a couple of drinks. He was freaking drunk, is what he was. And he said, let me tell you something. You're never going to get the girl. I don't get the girl, and you're never going to get the girl. And he was, the next day, he was so sorry. But, you know, he made a point that seemed pretty damn significant at the time. Acting isn't about getting the girl. Could be about getting the girl, but that's not the reason why I wanted to be an actor. So I sort of put it aside and said, okay, I'm not going to get the girl, but certainly there's other things I can do. And then I got the girl. I got the girl. And I got it, and several. I got the girl on Get It. Imagine that. And a couple of other shows that I did. So it was not necessarily the case. And why am I talking about this?
Why is he talking about that? Was there a question on that, or were you just happy to see him get the girl for once?
Well, we all go towards the characters that their names are first in the order, and I always look at the other people on the show, not just the red shirts, but the other people. And I was so happy that you finally got to do something, and if they didn't do a particular show that was all about you, but when you got the girl, I looked over to my dad and I said, hey Dad, there's some hope for me. I'm not the prettiest girl, but maybe I might get the guy. And so that was my reaction when I first saw it. I was, born in '67, which was the last year that you guys did it, but when it came back on television, I was always worried about being the ugly girl and that I would never get a guy. And every time someone that, was not the person that was like Spock or Kirk got the girl, or the girl that got the guy, I was excited. I was like, there's hope for me. And so that's why I asked the question, because I wanted to know how it felt to get the girl, because I haven't got the guy yet.
So when you got those scripts where you were looking through it, you get the script, did you get the scripts anything in advance before the episode started shooting, or did you get them on Sunday and you knew you had to start shooting on Monday?
No, that's a good question. Generally, we got the scripts late in the week previous. Mm-hmm. And my contract was one which did not stipulate in the second season. A definitive number of shows. I could be used once, I could be used 6 times. It was not a 7 out of 13 or anything of that nature. So every time they brought the scripts on the set in the last days of the shooting of the previous show, I thumbed through and said, oh, Chekov sent this one. And that happened a lot because George wasn't available. George was doing the Green Berets, and so they switched from George, the dialogue from George, to me. So it was nice for me. Unfortunately, George didn't get as much an opportunity as he would have had he been available. By the way, speaking of getting the girls, there are certain moments that you do remember, certain things that occur. And I almost feel like I have to speak really quickly because I'm going to forget what the hell I'm talking about.
I have the same problem.
Between the second and third season, Gene called me and asked me to come over to his house. And we sat down and we talked, and he showed me some correspondence that we had had with the guys in NBC, Schlosser and Warner, who were the important decision makers, evidently, regarding Star Trek. And it involved how Chekov would be used in the third season. We were primed to be in a good spot, a think it was Monday nights at 8, which is great for my audience, particularly my very young audience. And it said, you know, very clearly that let's get Chekov more involved in the actions on the planet, on getting involved with girls, and et cetera, et cetera. So I was overjoyed. And then I found out that we actually, Jimmy, George and I were on a shoot, on a magazine shoot about horses. Put horses together with Star Trek, you get a certain fan base, you know. It's heaven for some people, particularly kids. And I was on a horse, and somebody came up and said, "Oh, we just heard Star Trek is being replaced by Laughing at 8 p.m., and you guys are going to Friday at 10. I heard that. I said, that's the end of Star Trek's involvement in girls, and et cetera. And in fact, Spectre of the Gun, which was a third season show, was written before the third season started, and was going to reflect the kind of episodes that Chekov had been involved in, where he'd be, you know, significantly involved with the action and romance and all of that good stuff. But once we got word that it was switched, those story ideas, I think, just fell by the wayside.
Thank you.